G'day everyone, Professor Maple here. We're back on Maple's World. In Maple's World, we're back with another episode of Maple's World. That's what we're doing. Hope everyone's having a good now. And I just wanted to start off the episode by taking a look at an angle we don't get to see of some of these hexes. Uh, right now I'm digging out a lot of these hexes down below, and it's a bit of a grind, but at least we get to see some pretty colors and some cool contrasty uh, block palettes and stuff as we go. Uh, but I think what I really think is cool is just how much room there is down here now. Like the our sort of mob spawner pop can looking thing is almost freestanding. Most of the walls behind it are gonna stay where they are, but on this side now, it's a lot more sort of open at the moment. Now that will change a little bit. Oop. As we'll be kind of working on replacing what has disappeared here, and we'll be putting a hex in here today. That Pervert farm behind me, I put that on hold because I kind of just got building and went on a spree while I was listening to podcasts, and I want to kind of go over that a little bit later. But I want to show you a couple things that kind of are related to this project here. So if we spiral our way up to the item room here. Actually, I think I moved them to an ender chest. Did I? Maybe? Probably? I did. So we've got, I did a little bit of hunting in the nether, and I finally got some wither skulls here. So I think one important thing that we have to do as soon as we have wither skulls in Minecraft is, well, we've got to make sure we put something together, and then we get some good rewards out of that. And in this case, that's going to be Skull Charge Banner Pattern. Heck yeah. No, I'm kidding. Like, I did want to do that with the extra one, but the point is that now we've, like, I've been doing a lot of digging, and it would be a lot easier with beacons, right? So I think episode 40, I want to do a wither fight. And so to get there, we have got a couple steps. I don't really have a consistent brewing area yet. Like, I've got a couple brewing stands down here, but if I want to do like a lot of potions or something all at once, this is not really gonna cut it. I need, let's see, I probably need a blaze farm for blaze rods. I could also use that for fuel for the smelting hex down here, which wouldn't be a bad thing. I don't really have a renewable source of fuel down there either. We could get coal from a wither farm as well. That's a possibility. Or wither skeleton farm, not a wither farm. That's a little different. But yeah, I wanna get some fuel going. I want to get some brewing going. So that spot down there is going to become a basically a brewing hex. Sir, hello, Ender Mizzle. There's so many Endermen in my base right now. I never have more than one at a time there. So there's the one down there and the one up there. And at least one of them. Wait, hold on. Did I see another one down? No, that's just obsidian. Okay, cool. I've been having things spawn on those chorus flowers and stuff lately. So you are going to provide me with a pearl or two here. And the other one looks like it's despawned. Oh, there you are. Son of a bother. Okay, here we go. Yep, down you go. But I don't think we get the ender pearl from that, do we? No, I don't think we did. I might be wrong. I'll have to watch that footage back, but anyway. So yeah, I want to make a brewing hex here for our potiony, lotiony needs. Inctures and tinctures and magic liquids and stuff. So yeah, so for that we've got to get some redstone together. We're gonna do some redstone, and I also have to actually build a hex for it as well. So that's the plan for today, I think. All right, so I think my main question is gonna be, can I just use a dropper to put things into hoppers, or do I have to use a dispenser? So we're gonna put a dispenser there. I'm gonna stick a dropper, yeah, against this one. And let's see, yeah, that's got to go down. We could save on dispensers in the design if we just put a barrel here and pop our hopper there, pop our hopper there. Let's get some light on here just in case, because the one time I don't light the thing is when things are going to spawn. And, oh yeah, buttons. I need buttons on these. So there's a 1 button, a 2 button. We pop something in here. We'll do pufferfish for the dropper, and we'll do magma cream for the dispenser. And basically we want to just confirm both end up in the chest here. So 1, 2. Okay, so they have to be dispensers. That's not so bad. And that's if I want to do a vertical design. I might incorporate water streams. I'm not sure yet, but I think this is good information to start with here. Or wait, no, that was a dropper, right? The dispenser doesn't. No, that's ending up over. Oh, so it has to be a dropper. Okay, that's good to know. I'm glad that got cleared up. All right, so before we get to actually filling out the hexagon with brewing stuff and redstone and things, we actually need to step back a little bit and do a little bit of theory, potion theory, as I like to refer to it as. And I don't use it very often. I don't do a whole lot of potion brewing, so I had to actually look this up again because I just don't use it often enough. You can see I've got my path sort of laid out on the hex, so the rest of the machine basically has to fit within this, and it has to be able to do the following things. So it has to be able to add blaze rods for fuel that can go into the side of a brewing stand, and then we also and hoppers can do that. I didn't realize that was a thing. They can also do that with the water bottles. I don't know if I knew that and forgot or just learned that for the first time, but that's a thing I've kind of fiddled around with just recently here. And then so things we're going to need are an infinite water source in glass bottles, and blaze powder from blaze rods for fuel, of course. And then once those kind of go in, like you see the interface here, the hopper will take it from, and we'll put it in the brewing stand in the side here, even though it can also be used as a brewing ingredient. So we got to be careful with what part we put the blaze powder in, because if it goes in one side, it'll be fuel for the brewing process, and if it comes in the top, it'll be brewing ingredient. So that's the thing we need to watch out for. Let's see, our next thing to be aware of here is that pretty much every potion that is useful in the game needs nether wart in order to become the potion. If you try to add any of these other ingredients here before adding the nether wart, you're gonna have a bad time, with I think one exception, but I'm not too worried about the exception. I'm just gonna more focus on actually I think the exception is potion of weakness, which I don't think you need the nether wart to. Let me triple check that. Hold on. Yeah, so I triple checked on the wiki there, which is where all this is pulled from. Like I've laid it out in the world here so that I don't have to go back and forth, because I either have a very small version of that image on my other monitor here, or I have a very large, cumbersome to move around image and the small version's kind of hard to read when it's zoomed out like that. So I like having this sort of thing on a blackboard in the world so that I can read it here, without going back and forth between programs and everything. I just build, come back, look at this, look at my next step, build, off we go. But yeah, so Netherwort, that's a major component in all but the weakness potion. And then, so our components after that include the projectilators. There are two, you can call them something a little more normal, a little more run of the mill if you would like. But I like the word projectilators, it sounds neat. So that's what we're going to call them, and that also describes what they do. So gunpowder, you add that to an awkward potion, which is what the netherwort makes a potion, a water bottle become. You add that to the awkward potion, and it becomes a splashing potion. And in order to get a lingering potion, you need to add a dragon's breath after having added the gunpowder, which now the projectilators. An important note here: you can add those either before you add your other ingredients, or you can add them at the end afterwards. That order doesn't matter so much, which is good to know because when you're doing brewing stand automation, the order is probably the most important thing, other than having the right ingredients to make what you want to make. But for our purposes, order is very important. So the ingredients for the actual determine the potion type of stuff, those kind of break down into three major categories. We have our fermentables, our lengthenables, and our strengthenables. And those aren't words that exist on the wiki from what I read. That's just words that, for me, make it really easy to remember what's going on. So you can call them what they want again, what you want, just because it's your brewing. You do how you like. But for me, fermentables, strengthenables, and lengthenables is. I know I paused there, but it's easier to remember what these two makes them different, sort of thing. So the fermentables, those once you have your awkward potion, those are going to be anything like the awkward potion itself. You also have your swiftness, your leaping, which become a slowness potion when you ferment them. With the fermented spider eye, that's the next ingredient that does that. So you would add these first, and then add your spider eye to alter the effect of them. You also have your healing potion, which becomes harming potion, as does the poison potion, which is the spider eye. Gilded melon for healing, of course. Night vision becomes invisibility with the fermented spider eye there, and that's pretty much it. So a weakness potion is kind of the exception to the rule here, where you kind of it is just the awkward potion plus the fermentation. But good thing I've got more chalk here. Don't worry. Yeah, that's pretty much just the 6 potions there that you can ferment there. So lengthenables. Now, I find it tricky remembering if glowstone or redstone lengthen the thing or strengthen the thing, and I don't know, maybe naming them lengthenables and strengthenables doesn't help you remember what it is, and that's perfectly fair. They sound very similar, but basically, if you think of redstone, you think of like a redstone line. Redstone line can have a strengthness of up to 15 before it kind of dies out, or you have to add a repeater or something like that. So if you think of redstone signal length, that might be the way to remember your lengthenables, or that you can use redstone to lengthen other potions. Versus the strengthenables, I guess in the in-game rationale would maybe be that light level. Glowstone is a light block, and glowstone dust is just a powdered glowstone block. and you have light levels, which is the strength or intensity of your light. So the strength can be changed of the light depending on how close to the source you are, how intense it is, and also depending on the source. In 1.16, we're going to get the blue lanterns and stuff like that, which are going to have a lower strength than the regular torches and lanterns. So if that's helpful at all, then totally use it. I don't mind. That's why we're here. So basically, our lengthenables are over here: sugar, rabbit's foot, blaze powder, spider eye, fermented spider eye, all those other things. So, and that's going to lengthen our swiftness, slowness, leaping, strength, poison regeneration, fire resistance, water breathing, night vision, invisibility, turtle master, slow falling, and weakness potions. So yeah, that's a good long list there. And then I noticed when I was putting this together, not all the potions that are strengthenable are lengthenable, and not all fermentables are in both of these categories either. So just as a heads up, so your healing potion cannot be lengthened. It's an instantaneous effect that makes sense. Usually that's kind of the rationale there. If it's an instantaneous effect, it can't be lengthened because it just happens like that. So yeah, that's kind of the rationale behind the lengthenables. And then there are strengthenables here. Last thing on the chalkboard is going to be, again, our swiftness, slowness, leaping, strength, and healing can be strengthened. It can be put up another level of healing. We've got our harming, our poison, our regeneration, and our turtle master potions as well. So those can all be intensified using the power of glowstone. So now I think what I want to do when I go to build this machine, this redstone contraption-y dealy thing, is I want to build in like a color coding system for kind of what can be fermented, strengthened, and lengthened. So I think we're gonna take our colors. We're magenta, our red, and our orange. Magenta might change to purple. Magenta just showed up on the blackboard a lot easier. But I think we're gonna take those and we're gonna use those colors in the build just to color code everything and make it all super organized and stuff. All right, guys. So we're back on the other end of the design phase here, and as you can tell, I'm not going to be going with this design. I was kind of, I don't do my own redstone a lot, so I started out with like, okay, we'll put the buttons on the droppers. They'll drop the item into the thing, and we can use it from there. Which meant I'd have to space my droppers out because, as you can see here, if we put the button on the dropper itself, it'll activate, it'll power the droppers beside it. And of course that ended up being really big, so it's like, is there a way we can work around that? Because that's too big for one hex, or I'd have to have like lots of stairs. And although I want some vertical variation between my hexes, I really don't want this snaking around one of them. So thankfully, if you just put the button on a block adjacent to a dropper, it just spits out the one item at a time. So because of that, I was able to, and also if we go back to the footage in the world itself there, droppers can just drop things into hoppers directly, so we don't really need water streams to put things into hoppers. Like, it saves on hoppers, yes, but I've got an iron farm and I can farm wood, and there's really no reason to make this with water streams, at least in my case. So I ended up compacting it down to a design like this, where we have our ingredients on the bottom here. I can go back up and refill them anytime. I open barrel and pop them in. I don't have all the barrels in just because they're all going to be the same basically. So as long as you have one example, it's fine there. We've also got, and these I don't really care which is which, and it doesn't really matter. They both go into the side of the brewing stand there. One of these can be water bottles. One of these can be blaze powder. I'll probably keep the blaze powder on the left just because it shows up in the left part of the UI right there. It's just easier that way, whereas the bubbles are slightly to the right of that. Bubbles, water, it makes sense, right? So yeah, we've got our what did I call these again? I called them something to make them easier to remember. Fermentables. Now the fermentables are, yeah, I don't think I'll be using them a ton. We've got our fermentables, our lengthenables, our strengthenables, our projectilables. Yep, good. I think I'm learning this, which is good. Projectilators, that's what it. Projectilables, projectilators. Though I said before, we can make up new words and make them easier to remember, and that might be the case there. Cool. So now we've also got about 16 droppers for our regular ingredients. And then we've also got a couple extras on the end here, as well as another 5 down here. That's to future-proof it and make things symmetrical, because I like things when they're symmetrical, when like it's good to have asymmetrical builds that are intentionally asymmetrical once in a while, but yeah, this one I felt like it needed to be relatively symmetrical. I'm also going to be putting this blackboard in just above here, just because, again, going back and forth, I'd rather just not. I'd rather just maybe do it once, and then it's I've got it for good there. But yeah, we've got some glass railings up here. I like using this trick with the iron trapdoors and just using them as like this walkway. Now I may have to raise these up slightly, like if I put them on this level instead, just to keep it from spawning things. But other than that, think we're good to go here. So I've got to go in and build it. I've got all my screenshots for reference here. You can see I've measured out some of the distances here, and we'll get that popped in a jiffy for you. For me, it's going to take a little bit. All right, and we're back, everyone. So you can see behind me the chorus flower farm. It's a little better lit. I had a creeper incident earlier, so I had to light that up, and I think that glowstone ring doesn't look so bad, so I might keep it. I might expand on it. We'll maybe look a bit closer at that farm next episode or something. But here is our finished potions hex in the base here. Look at this potion lab. Isn't it great? It's so sterile and clean and white and pristine. It's wonderful. It's a scientist's dream. Anyway, so yeah, we've got all our blackboards up. I've got them lit at the back so that you can read them. It's kind of dark down here. Otherwise, notice this area here was getting kind of hard to read. And even then, you kind of have to stand still to read it. But that's fine. It's here just for reference, and I'll really just be standing still when I need to read it. So that's fine. Let's see. We are missing a few things, and of course we've got the expansion slots here for if they add more potion ingredients in the future to the game. That's perfectly fine. But we are missing the dragon's breath and the turtle shells for the turtle master potion. And it occurs to me that I may not have ever had a turtle shell helmet dealy. So that's something that we might have to try in a later episode, is turtle farming. We need 5 scoots. Let's see. Dragon's breath. Oh yeah, dragon's breath we tried to get when I fought the Ender Dragon, but that didn't go too well. So maybe we'll do another attempt at some point. But for now, I think what we need to do is take all that we've learned this episode and apply it and make some potions here. So we've got some water bottles and some blaze powder in the brewing stand. We're good to go there. Now let's see, what do we want to make that may be helpful to us in the wither fight? I think night vision is a good one to start with, or strength. So we need an awkward potion for most of these. So that's going to be nether wart. Okay. Nether wart goes in the thing. Should be in here any second. There we go. Hoppers are a bit slower than I realized, but it's a lot more compact than having water streams, I'll tell you that much. Let's see, and then I guess we can kind of get things on the go afterwards now, as long as we just kind of have like one in the brewing stand and one in the hopper at a time. We'll hear when the brewing stand's done. So the awkward potion, that becomes a strength potion with blaze powder. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna do a strength potion. We'll do a night potion after. I changed my mind. Night vision potion. Words are hard apparently, but we're gonna do the this one, and then we'll do. Well, actually, we should lengthen it first. Lengthen that, and then we'll do our night vision as well. And there we go. Potion of strength. That one's for 3 minutes. Now if we wanted it to be strength 2, we would add our glowstone because it's the strengthener. But we want to make I want to make this one a lengthener. We want redstone in this one. So in goes the redstone. Pops in, and we're not going to make it a splash potion or anything. So that's perfectly fine. And then we can take the bottles out as soon as this is done brewing. And they will automatically refill, which is fantastic. I'm tempted to test this out now here, but it's a potion. We all know that they'll work. Let's see. We need another awkward potion, and then once that goes in there, okay. And now we can get a. Let's see. That's a golden carrot for that one. So I think I've got. I do have golden carrots, right? Yeah, I did craft more. Cool. Because I knew I ran out. So that's going to wait in the queue here. As long as we don't add more things, then we should be fine. And yeah, that'll just go right in. Don't know how I got to my rockets so quick there. But yeah, that's... Oh, look at that. We're going to test... We're not going to test the strength potions out. We're going to test the night vision potion. As soon as it's done... There we go. Alright, so now we'll just take a fly out here to somewhere nice and dark. Drink our potion. I just realized I didn't lengthen these night vision potions, but that's fine. We've got a good almost 3 minutes on these, and look at how much you can see now. This is great. So anyway, if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to leave a like on it. And I hope you had a good now. Have a good later. And we'll see you next episode, the episode before we fight the Wither finally. After how many years? Too many. Anyway, goodbye.